Hello friends and welcome on the lecture of online English speaking course. Friends, today's lecture is very important because in this lecture we are going to learn basics of communication skills. So let's start our today's lecture, and with the help of lecture you will understand which are the basic skills or which are the basic elements of communication skills. So in front of you there is a picture, and in this picture you may notice that there are four skills. These four basic skills are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. First skill, that is listening. It is the ability to understand spoken language. When anyone speaks to you, at that time you listen, and it is the ability to understand that spoken expressions which are uttered by that person. And after that, you speak something, you utter some words, or you express yourselves. It is speaking skill. The ability to express oneself verbally with the help of sentences, words you express. It is your ability. Third skill, that is reading. It is the ability to comprehend written text. You read from the books, notebooks, etc. It is your ability to comprehend. It means to understand whatever is written. And last skill, it is of writing. It is ability to compose written content. With the help of listening, speaking, reading, your ability improves and you compose something. That is writing skill. If you want to become a master of any language, at that time you must acquire these four basic skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Language may be Marathi, English, Hindi, etc. if you if you want to become master, acquire these four basic skills. Okay, so after that, the next of the communication skill, it is the importance or some of the steps. And if you want to create a certain rapport, if you want to establish a certain rapport between you and the listener, at that time there are some steps, and these steps are related to, or these steps, they play an important role in your basics of communication skill. First step, it is of self confidence. What is self confidence? Believe in yourself. Believe in your abilities to engage effectively with the help of your abilities, because you know which are your abilities. So with the help of this ability, you engage yourself or you speak with that person, and that speaking or that responding, it will automatically increase your self confidence. Second step, it is to understand people. So if you create, or if your confidence increases, at that time you try to understand the other people, because you are going to speak with others, you are going to establish a rapport. Recognize and appreciate diverse perspectives. There are diverse perspectives of people. At that time, try to understand. Third step, it is enthusiasm. It is show genuine excitement and energy while speaking. Show your energy, show your interest in others or in listeners. And fourth, that is the most important, it is eye contact. While speaking, maintain direct and engaging visual connection. It means see directly or look directly to that person. Eye to eye contact is the most important factors in communication skills. Fifth step, it is interest in others. While speaking with others, show interest in that listener or show interest in other persons. Demonstrate genuine curiosity and care. It means uh, when the person, the listener, can, when the person finds it is useful, or it may think that you are interested in the listening of the words of that person. At that time he listens carefully and gives you feedback. And the communication cycle, it is based on response or feedback. If the person gives you feedback, your response will be filtered. And the last and sixth step, it is engage senses. Use all senses to connect more deeply. Okay, so these are some steps, 6 steps to establish rapport. Now again, there is a picture in front of you: hearing, seeing, smell, touch, and taste. With the help of these, you can communicate with others. First, that is hearing. What is hearing or what is listening? The ability to perceive sounds and understand spoken words. When someone speaks to you, at that time you listen or you hear that words. It is your ability to perceive sounds or whatever spoken by that person. With the hearing, communication takes place. Second, it is seeing. The capacity to observe and interpret visual information. Whatever whatever is visual information, you can see with your eyes. So after hearing, there is seeing, and next, that is smell. With the help of your nose, you can smell. So with the help of smell, communication may happen. The sense of detecting and distinguishing odors. So it is also one of the type of communication. Next, it is touch. The ability to feel and interact with physical textures. So when you touch someone, at that time communication takes place. And last one, it is taste. The sense of perceiving flavors through the tongue. Tastes, they are of various types: sweet, sour, etc. And with the help of these tastes, communication also takes place. So only words are not important. With the help of all these, you can communicate or the person communicate with you. Okay, so after that, there is a cycle of communication. And in this cycle of communication, you may notice some of the elements here. First, that is convey thought. It is initiating the communication process. A person or the speaker speaks something or utters some words. At that time, he is conveying thought to the listener. And what listener does? Second, receive message. The recipient processes the message. He understands that message. He listen that message, and after that, he processes that message. And third step, it is interpret message. Interpret. It means to understand. Understanding the message's meaning. The person understand what is the listener speaking. It is the third step in the cycle of communication. And last, it is respond. Reacting to the interpreted message. The listener respond. The listener responses to the message of that speaker. It is the fourth step, and it is fourth step, but it is very important because it is, what is the title of our picture? Communication cycle. It is important in this cycle. If that listener or that receiver gives responses to the speaker, at that time speaker can improve his communication. If there is any doubt, if there is any problem, confusion, speaker can improve his communication, his thought, his speaking, and again sends message. So this is a cycle, and it is basic of communication skill. After that, there are three levels of communication. First, that is symbolic communication. Communication happens with the help of symbols. Uses symbols to convey meaning while communicating. The only the words are not important. Sometimes what happens, symbols also takes place, or with the help of symbols communication happens. For example, symbols of traffic. When you travel by road, at that time there are various types of signs on the road, and these are related to traffic signs. So with the help of that symbols you can understand. For example, colors are there. Red color, if you see red color, you stop your vehicle. If you see green, you start your vehicle. So with the help of symbols communication happens. And next, second, that is non-verbal communication. Very important. Body language and movements. While speaking or while uttering words, or while expressing yourself verbally, at that time your body language plays an important role. Just we have seen um, eye to eye contact. So it is also related to body language. So your gestures, your postures, as well as your facial expressions, all these play an important role in non-verbal communication. It is also one of the parts of communication. It is also one of the levels of communication. And third one, which we are going in this English speaking course, that is verbal communication, spoken or written words. We are focusing in our course on this verbal communication as well as non-verbal communication. So these three are levels of communication. After that, there are some communication barriers. While communicating, there are some barriers. There are some disturbances between the speaker and the listener. Let's see which are they. First, that is lack of self confidence, hesitation or fear in expressing oneself. It means due to low confidence, or due to lack of some knowledge, or due to fear in the mind of speaker, that speaker hesitates, or there is a fear in expressing himself. He can't speak, he can't utter words. Second, that is related to voice quality issues, challenges in clarity or audibility of speech. While speaking, your voice must be clear, and as well as your voice must be audible to other or to the listener. And when it happens, at that time communication will be successful. And if that voice is not clear, communication is disturbed. Next barrier, it is related to unwillingness to adapt, resistance to changing communication styles or approaches. Unwillingness to adapt, it means the person or the listener is unable to understand, as well as he has not any wish, he has not any desire to acquire or to listen. It is also one of the barriers. Next barrier, it is of lack of enthusiasm, absence of excitement or passion in communication. So there is not any energy in speaking as well as in listening, or from the side of listener or from the side of speaker. There is not any enthusiasm, not any energy, not any excitement. At that time, communication will be disturbed, it will be not successful. And next, it is prejudice, biases affecting communication and understanding. If there are some prejudices in the mind of the listener, at that time speaker's communication will not reach to that listener, and it will be not successful. So these are some barriers. Next barriers, these are related to the listener as well as the speaker. Disagreement. So when speakers speak something, at that time listener must be agree with that speaker. If he disagrees, at that time communication may not happen. Negative self image. If there is negative self image or lack of confidence in speaker's mind as well as in listener's mind, communication will be not successful. Lack of feedback is also there. Just we have seen lack of feedback or response. If that listener or that receiver in the communication process, he gives feedback to the speaker, at that time he can understand clearly what he what he understood, and then he can improve his expressions or speaking style. And next, that is lack of motivation. Most important, it is spontaneous feeling and motivation. If the speaker or listener they are motivated, they can carefully fix or listen the communication or whatever is going on. Language barrier. If the listener understands only Marathi language and the speaker is speaking in English language, it is one of the barriers. And it is, for example, and so the speaker must speak in the language of that listener, because it will be beneficial to successful communication. And lack of self awareness, it is also one of the barriers in communication process. Now these barriers are related to listeners. Now some of the barriers are there which are related to receivers end. So which are these barriers? Selective perception. Selective perception, it is the first barrier. What is it? Filtering information based on personal biases. If there are any personal biases or personal prejudices or fear in the mind of that person or that receiver or that listener, at that time it will be one of the barriers. Second, it is unwillingness to change, resistance to new ideas or perspectives. If listener is not ready to change, not ready to accept the language or not ready to accept the expressions of that listener, of that speaker, at that time it will be proved as barrier. Third, lack of interest, disengagement due to boredom or disinterest. If that listener is not ready to accept the speech or to accept the expression of the speaker, he has not any interest in that speech or in that communication, it will be one of the barriers in the process of communication. Next, prejudice and belief system. Biases affecting understanding and acceptance. Once again, preconceptions or prejudice, it is proved as one of the barriers. Next, rebuttal instincts. Immediate disagreement without full consideration. If speaker speaks something, listener listens carefully, but without proper understanding or without proper listening, he gives his opinion and he disagrees to that speaker. It will be not beneficial to the communication process. So it is one of the barriers at the end of receiver in the process of communication. Personal value system. Next is values in influencing interpretation and responses. So it is also one of the barriers at the end of listeners. And last, here and now factors, immediate circumstances affecting communication. So without all these barriers, any one of the barrier without or immediate circumstances happens or created by the listener or by the speaker or due to the environment, etc. At that time that communication process will be disturbed and uh, the it is not beneficial. Okay, so after these barriers there are some external communication barriers. So let's see one by one. First, that is environment. What is that? Physical surroundings affecting communication. Besides all these barriers, environment is also related to that. When if it is disturbed, at that time environment will prove as one of the barriers. Second, that is venue. The location's impact on interaction. Your location or when you are speaking with that listener, that background, that place, it plays an important role while speaking. So next one, noise, and it is very common. It is interference disrupting clear communication. So when there is a noise while speaking or while listening, at the end of listener, Due to that noise, listener can't listen carefully or clearly, and the process is totally disturbed. Next barrier, next external communication barrier, it is temperature. Comfort levels influencing engagement. So, after that, status, social hierarchy affecting interaction. Status of the listener as well as status of that speaker. What is the position? What is the current position of the listener and speaker? It proves an important role in communication. Next, it is education. Knowledge levels influencing understanding. Education plays an important role while speaking. And last one, it is time. Timing and duration affecting communication. For example, you are watching this video. If this video is very lengthy, it is of 2 hours or 3 hours, you will bored and you will not watch that video carefully. So time also plays an important role. And if you do not watch this video at that time, my speaking or my communication will not be successful. And why? Because it is very lengthy. So time plays an important role. It is also one of the external communication barriers. After that, barriers to effective listening. Some of the barriers of effective listening. In the picture you may see here that which are these barrier. Listening is hard work. If that listener thinks or he assumes that listening is very hard work, it means he does not show any interest in the speaker at that time. It will be a barrier. Second, competition. Third, rush for action. It means when speaker speaks something and listeners without any understanding, he hurry he is hurry to doing that action, to doing any action, he is rush for that action. At that time it will be barrier. Speed differences. While speaking, maintain accurate speed. Do not speak in a very fast style as well as very slow style. Try to understand the listener's situation. What is the mentality of that listener? Try to understand first. If the listener can understand in a very fast style, speak fast. Have, or if he do not, speak in a slow style. In this way, if now you are learning, you are watching this video and I am conducting this video in English to English, and if you do not understand English to English, it will be one of the barriers. Again, it means the barrier is related to language barrier. Like that language barrier, speed difference or speed, it will be uh, one of the barriers to effective listening. Lack of training, it is related to listener, it is also one of the barriers. Now, understanding listening proficiency through a spectrum of engagement levels. It means uh, the listeners, the types of listeners. On your screen, you may see active and passive listeners. Okay. So, what is active listeners? Active listener, fully focused, provides feedback. It means whatever spoken by that speaker or that sender, that listener or that receiver, fully focused on that speech, fully focused on that expressions, and he tries to understand, he tries to comprehend whatever is there in the speech or whatever is there in the expressions, as well as that listener, he provides feedback, he responses to that speaker. He is called as active listener. Okay. Now marginal listener is here. He hears words, not meaning. It means he only hears, not carefully, but not meanings, but not senses of that words. He is called as marginal listener. He is passive listener. Okay. And next is non-listener. He ignores speaker, doesn't hear. He has not any interest in that speaker, and that's why he ignores that speaker's speech as well as that speaker, and he is non-listener. And after that, next is evaluative listener. What is evaluative listener? Hears and judges content. He listens carefully, he hears carefully, as well as he judges that content, he evaluates that content is called as evaluative listener. So you must become active listener for the speaker of good English language. It is very necessary to become the speaker of English language, the good speaker of English language, the best speaker of English language, active listener. This quality is very important. So you must become active listener. Okay. After that, the next is in front of your screen. You may see the picture, and that is related to enhancing listening skills. If you want to enhance your listening skills, if you want to improve the listening skills, at that time, with the help of these elements which you can see on your picture, you can improve your listening skill. First, open minded and non defensive, approaching the conversation without bias. Don't have or don't keep any prejudices in your mind. Open heartedly, open mindedly try to listen whatever others speaks. After that, minimizing interruptions, reducing distractions during the conversation. Distractions, it means disturbances. Try to minimize, try to delete, try to avoid these interruptions in the process of listening. And next is hearing. Hearing, perceiving the sounds of the message. Try to understand what the speaker speaks and perceive that sounds of the message. Next, asking questions, seeking clarification and engagement. It is related to feedback. When you listen the speech, the expressions of the speaker, at that time, if you do not understand, ask some questions to that speaker. In this way, you give feedback to that speaker. And your listening skill will be improved. Relating, uh, next point, connecting the message to personal experience. When that speaker speaks something, relate that message to your personal experiences. After that, next is understanding, comprehending the message's content. When the speaker speaks something, listen carefully. At that time, try to interpret or try to comprehend the meaning, the senses behind the words or behind the expressions, behind the sentences. Okay. And interpreting, just I told you about that. And understanding the meaning behind the words, just I told you. And not being preoccupied. Next, focusing attention on the speaker. Your full focus, your full attention must be on the speaker. Hmm. And so these are some elements which are very important in improving or in enhancing your communication skill. Now there is a picture of components of effective communication. In this picture you may see that when you are communicating sorry, when you are communicating with other person, at that time 55% role of your body language, 38% role of paralinguistics, and only 7% they are words. We are doing on this 7%. We are learning online English speaking course for this 7%. But my friends, remember it very well that body language, it plays an important role. That's why while conducting practice sessions of English speaking course, online English speaking course. We are on Zoom. Why? Because with the help of your camera, with the help of your video, I can understand your body language, I can understand your facial expressions while speaking. So body language and words, as well as paralinguistic, all these elements, they are components of effective communication. Okay, so now understanding body language, what or how do you understand body language, or which are the components of this body language? First, that is postures and gestures. It means how do you speak with that listener. Your postures, your gestures, your hand signals, etc., plays an important role. Next, eye contact. So many times I have described this point. Eye contact. Keep eye contact while speaking, and it will increase your confidence, as well as it will show interest in that listener. Next, it is orientation. After orientation, it is presentation. So while presenting something, or while speaking something, at that time, uh, your body language plays an important role. With the help of gestures, postures, eye contact, speak confidently at the time of presentation. And it is next is expression of emotions. Facial expressions plays an important role in expressions of emotions. Emotions, they are of various type. If there is a expression of happiness, speak like that. Show that expression on your face. If there is a question mark, ask that question, show that expression on your face. If there is exclamation mark at the end of that expression, speak like that, show that expression on your face. And last is looks. So all these are elements, or all these are components of effective body language. With the help of all these, you can speak effectively, or you can communicate effectively with others. Okay, so friends, thank you very much. This is all about today's lecture. And if you have any doubts about this lecture, if you have doubt about these basics of communication skills, you may ask me anytime. Type your question. If you are watching this video on YouTube, type your question in comment. And if you are watching this video on English and Android app, type your question in app chat box. Okay, thank you very much.